Hear me out. Hear me out. RFK is just a symptom. He's a symptom of 50 years of economic depression that has been placed on the working people. The working people no longer trust the government, and they rightfully should not trust the government. At every turn, no matter what party has been in there, economic prosperity for the middle class has continued to decline. We can no longer afford things. Year after year after year, we are made promises, right? There's promises that are made to change things. This group of people will change things. Nope, they didn't. So we're going to go back to this group of people will change things. No, they haven't. People see health is declining in America. But what people just can't wrap their head around is the root cause. The root cause of almost all of our problems in the United States is that the middle class has been snuffed out. That things are no longer affordable. That we're forced to pay into insurance companies, and we're forced to essentially let our representatives run our lives. We were supposed to be the ones in power, and our representatives were supposed to be the ones to fight for us. They no longer do. So now, right or wrong, every establishment is under fire. Every single one. So that government mistrust has now boiled over into mistrust into every facet of our lives. And it's because of money. It will always be because of money. When people can't afford healthy food. When people see other countries banning chemicals and things that the United States is late to the game on. When people fear getting sick and it's going to ruin them. When people fear having to take a week off of work, a month off of work. When people fear getting in a car accident because they have to pay a deductible. When people fear dying because of the economic stress it will put on their loved ones. When people fear other countries because our government officials are taking money to just get reelected and line their pockets. When people fear the other people across the aisle from us. When people fear at the drop of a hat, something could happen and they lose their job, their income, their housing, their life. Every single social issue boils down to not having money. Every single one. And what do politicians do? They make us fear one another. They make us fear black people. They make us fear brown people. Then vice versa. Make those other groups fear white people. When people fear that because other people have money, then those other people can slide money under the table and all of their problems go away, that's the problem. Again, it's about us not having money, and because we don't have money, we don't have power. That's not how things are supposed to be, but that's really how it is. So, I disagree with RFK on a lot of stuff, but he's not the actual true problem. He's the symptom, and the root cause of everything, being as shitty as it is in America, is money. This is why we elect the wrong politicians on both sides of the aisle. We let other foreign countries infiltrate and shove money into the pockets of those very people that are here to make sure that our economic prosperity is taken care of. And in turn, they don't take care of it. The distrust in all these large corporations is just years and years and years and years of watching what was once an economically prosperous nation where there was a robust middle class slowly being dwindled to the point where your medium household income to even buy a house needs to be $125,000 plus, and the annual medium income for people is $60,000 or $70,000. That's why conspiracy theories take hold. So people, right or wrong, have the right to distrust anything that a politician says, and they have a right to distrust doctors because they see the connection with large pharmaceutical companies and politicians. And because they see that, they believe that's the problem. Ultimately, nothing is going to change. We're going to see extremists on both sides be elected in until the income discrepancy is fixed. I don't believe it's going to get fixed. I don't think that we really have true choice anymore. I think that was gone a long time ago. And unless there's a complete sweeping change of both sides of the Republican Party and the Democratic Party, and a 90% turnover rate the next two elections, I think we're just screwed. I think we're going to live with the consequences. And I think that's basically where we're at. We'll see. But people are broke. And when people are broke, they're desperate for anything. They're desperate for new ideas. And that's what RFK is throwing at people. And don't get me wrong, I think some of his stuff isn't off the wall. But I think that the way he thinks is not a scientific way to think, and I think that's a big problem. But again, we created this by allowing our representatives to completely take over and basically ruin our lives. And that's why everybody's mad on both sides. So we continue to fight each other, and we always will. And I'll be the first to admit, I get absolutely heated at times and totally tell people on the other side to go F themselves, because I find it many times hard to put myself in their shoes. But if you really look down to it, it's always been about money, and it's always been about parties claiming they're going to fix that issue, and they're not. They just aren't. So we'll see again. We'll see if we even make it to 2026, 2028 without a complete economic collapse, and maybe we need it.